Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Cyclist Tactics. We're on episode number 4. This time things loaded up, so we're good to go. As we've completed 2 events, we then had a month off in the 3rd month, so now we're into the 4th month of the calendar. And at this moment, obviously, we didn't have the same results that we were able to get that first time around. We stepped up the difficulty level, and we had a weaker set of riders essentially for the things we've opted to do so far. Our strongest riders haven't even had an appearance out on course just yet. So at the moment, we sit 41st out of the 44 teams. Hopefully, we begin moving up from here. As we prepare to begin our next race, looking at what's here, it's going to be difficult for us. You can see there's 8 teams present. You have the 10th and 11th ranked team overall, and then it hits 25th and below, so it's not like there's a ton of points involved, but we are the lowest ranked team present. And then if you look at the team leaders for each team, remember, we only have one decent rider on the squad, but they're going to be totally overmatched. All of these teams have some high quality riders. Frank Washington, who we previously got our butts kicked against, a level 8 guy. Manuel Gomez, a level 9 guy, or Manuel Gomez. It's gonna be tough for us here. Miroslav Volkov, for Channel 69 Cycling, he's only level 5, and it's Berador, breakaway rider, seems that is his specialty. Kirill Makarov, it's level 7, but it's the same sort of thing, so not a climber. That might give us a little bit of a chance. Not every team has come with a strong climber, at least not of their highest ranked. Doesn't mean their next ranked individual doesn't happen to also be pretty good, but you can see Manuel Gomez is the favorite. Frank Washington, who absolutely crushed it that last time around, isn't even on the list of favorites. And we open right away stage 1 with a huge mountain finish, and then stage 2 in the mountains, and then hilly stage 3 before it finally flattens out on stage 4. This is going to be really, really difficult. You could see Iker Ortega, our leader, comes in way down at number 7 on the list. So I think we're going to have to aim for just a top 10 and get what we can out of this thing. Maybe even going for a KOM instead of the overall. Not sure which one's going to benefit us more in either way. If you get that KOM early, especially with stage 1, if you go out there and get that KOM, that's something you can hang on to for a few stages, get some extra points, as opposed to just surviving top 10. So we might look for an opportunity to attack on the first climb, or maybe that's what my character goes after, but then that's going to kind of hurt Ortega in the long term. Ortega, though, maybe we'll just try to hang on with them. So one thing I'm picking up on really early, first off, I only have my 2 riders here. There's no other support riders. Remember, we've got that tight budget this year, so I've kind of gotten used to having 3 to 4 riders for each race. Not that I've been in that many races yet. So anyway, that's a factor. Another factor, and you can see just to the size of the hills that you have, but see how the jersey doesn't fill the circle? Here the red jersey does fill the circle. Okay, that means there's larger KOM points available here than here, even without having to go over and check on it. So bigger points available at the finish line, meaning whoever wins the stage is going to have the King of the Mountains lead at this point. So going for this early climb is not going to be helpful. It's going for the final climb that's going to matter. So at this point, let's just get both of them into the peloton. Already there's that breakaway not paying off. He's only a single node ahead and has obviously used a lot more energy than the rest of us. So good thing we didn't go for that. And again, I think those KOM points aren't going to matter as much because it's the big climb here at the end that does matter. And it looks like he's been caught on this next turn. So now we have a peloton of 23. There's a few riders off the back. This is not a large field. There's only, I think, 27 at the race. Last spot before we begin the big climb. Everybody lines it up, took it a little easy on those last 2 turns to set themselves up for best possible position. See, everybody's moved up into the front group now. Pressure's on. You see at least one rider pushing up a little further ahead than the others at a strange place, because it looks like you could be better placed by going here, but the main group's there, so tricky. Generally, you kind of want to go as far ahead as you can manage on these things. But Peloton's going where it's going, and we're going into this difficult... Well, okay, there's a 6 coming. So if you're getting +3, that's there. Pushing the little bit further. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get in there, but that's going to have to be the next turn. At this point, I'll have to sacrifice my character for Iker Ortega a bit. We're into the break. A little bit ahead of the curve now. Okay, here comes the big attack. This is the big push. This is the one we need to be in. And for my character, this is the final attack that they're going to get. For Ortega, they're still good to go for a while. But we'll see a big field split here. Down to 13 in the peloton. At this point, I'd rather follow than attack. But I know somebody's going to push ahead. Yep, there you go. There, now we respond. Now we respond again. Wow, some of them got even further. This is where you have that strength, right? There was no responding to that kind of distance. Not sure what happened there. I never picked a placement for my character. Yeah, that was a little odd. I never picked a placement. I picked Iker Ortega's spot twice, right? We moved up. And where is it? It's showing me way back here, which is the place I was already at. I was there the turn before, so we didn't move at all on the previous turn. That's a bug. Alright, we're approaching the upper edge of the climb. For Ortega, we're looking at top 10 type finishing, and there's 4. 5th and 6th are right here. We've got a chance to get up there with them, and looking at what's left to do, we've got to just go for it. It's going to hurt a lot for the next stage, but this will get us in a good position in the overall. Next stage is going to be a little more survival, but really sucks for my character that it skipped a whole turn and we stayed right in place, because our position was a lot better than what it is now. Ooh, chance to move up to 3rd place. If we push that little bit harder, might as well. I think that's going to be kind of the goal here, is to get it the most out of this stage and then try to hang on in the next stage and not lose time. So crossing the line all the way up to 3rd is going to be good. Now, I have a feeling that for my character, I'm kind of leading this next group. So if I go full attack, everybody's just going to follow. If I back off a little bit, it's either going to force somebody else to pick up the reins, or they'll follow me and take the time loss. See how there's one that's gone ahead? I'm going to stay put. See what happens. Yeah, there you go. I brought at least 4 with me, and a couple dropped off, and only 2 went on up ahead. I like that. I just cost them all some time, giving Ortega a little bit more of an advantage into the next stage, where potentially they're going to be a bit fatigued and not have as much left in the tank. So that's a good thing. Alright, we're going to be solo now, so now I can go back to kind of pushing. at the same time, try to conserve a little bit of energy. Now we're following. Now I've got no problem going with him. Ortega was actually 5th across the line, apparently, but still not in a bad place. Not down on time by much. My character seemingly isn't that far out of things, being in 13th overall. However, looking at the time gaps, there's a big jump between 12th and 11th. So you kind of had 11 that got away and got up the road and then split their time, and then everybody else kind of fell behind. However, how much of that was the bug that impacted my character, right? Many caught up to us, but so others were ultimately there, possibly, this group that was already getting dropped, meaning not good climbers, so we dropped them a second time. But how many of us missed out on that opportunity to go forward because we sat on the same node for 2 turns in a row? Unfortunate. Well, anyway, the rest brings us down a little bit, but we recover stamina fairly well, and because we have a higher rest, I know that even though both were pretty dang tired, that's got to still be better than so many others. It's still going to be hard. It's going to be tough that next stage, I think. Stage 2, by the way, is right here. So we have 3 climbs along the way this time. So 2 minor climbs and 1 big climb. But I mean, look how much of this stage. And it's length 254. So that is a lot of uphill. We're going to see some really big time gaps. We're also going to see a big push to be in these downhill sections and try to get maybe a little recovery in on those. We'll see how that goes. In terms of attack energy, not even a full recovery there as well. So this could be a tough stage. Ortega just making the list of favorites, down in 9th. So after an immediate push over the first hill, we go into that next descent, and you see there's actually going to be some recovery ongoing. So I'm happy with that. That's a chance to already pick up a point. Not for my character, though, just for Ortega. And it's already all back together. We'll see if we can bypass this hill altogether. It's a very steep hill. I could see there being a big push to get past it, and there certainly is. See the whole group moving on up ahead. Ortega making it no problem. Will my character make it? Only just. It's going to use up most of our attack energy. That's going to hurt. I'd love to see a handful dropped off. So far, everybody's made it in. Some downhill specialists making their way up the road a lot faster than the rest of us. Oh, we're going to back off a full sector here, or a full turn, really. It's going to give us a lot of extra oomph going forward. Nice recovery, but so we're looking at now 16 here, 5 up the road, 6 off the back. They've closed the gap a little bit. Of course, we did that big recovery effort, but that's why we also have that gap in front of us. And then here's where all the climbing's going to start. We're going to set ourselves up for a little bit of an advantage for this first hill. I think we're going to recover a lot of what we've lost, especially with this one who's already fallen off the back. Okay, the back group has latched back on. It's back together, but they probably had to make a bit of an effort for that. But we're in the perfect position, anyway, before starting the double climb to finish this thing. Okay, they've made it out, but how far will we get? Not far enough. That is really not far. I think we've got to make a move to get, up here with this group. Ortega's going to make it up there. Meanwhile, my character's going to come up a little short on that because we don't have the attack energy. But we'll go ahead and latch on to the... Alright, so 3 contenders remain up the road. Ortega is now going to be back in contention with a small group. And how far? Ooh, I will make it to the top into this secondary group just off the back, but that takes literally the final attack that we have in us. to do that, and I don't know if that's a good thing. Or we could just join the next group without the attack and only be a few nodes behind. Let's do that. We need to save that for the climb itself. There could be a really bad section, and we need those couple points to push past. Join a sizable group. It's going to cost me 1 point. It's going to save us a lot of time being in the slipstream. Alright, that was the final flat sector, so we are into the final climb, and it's a long one. It is absolutely a long one, and you can see already immediately destruction of the group, but also coming back at the trio at the front. Look how close Ortega is already going to be. Just 1 and 2 nodes behind the leaders, just like that. Okay, we will be able to bypass the group by going to here. We certainly have the energy for that. Or we can go no. No need to go conservative. You can outclimb these guys. Okay, 3 back together. 1 up the road again, but we can join this trio. And I think that's probably the right thing to do right now. Yeah, I do not like being at the front of the group. Hopefully somebody picked up the reins and pushed ahead of me. Ooh, approaching the top already. Yes, this is definitely where we want to be for this one, no doubt about it. Ooh, 2 of them were able to bypass the whole thing though. That'll put us off. We're ahead of the leader. He does not have the energy. He does not have the attack energy. This is fantastic news for us. Bypassing that difficult sector. My character is in a pretty decent position. Why can I not do any amount of push? Right? That shouldn't be. I should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. I should be able to go all the way to here. I mean, at most, this should be like maybe a 1 because of the slipstream. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, I don't understand why I can't go forward. Why am I being blocked by the group? Because I'm in the back of the group. I can't attack them because I'm in the middle of it. Yeah, that could be a mechanic I don't quite understand just yet. Maybe we need to move up. But that's going to use my... see, I'm at the total back end of the group. Yeah, maybe that's the problem, because I'm at the trail end of the group. Alright, here we go, crossing the line. Positionally, this should be enough to get... 3rd, 4th on the stage? 4th. Ortega into 4th place. Manuel Gomez, Frank Washington at the top, but otherwise, there we go. Yes, see, this time I'm able to emerge out and push 5. I have 1 attack energy. Not sure why it won't let me go past there, but again, that's maybe the peloton being where it is, not being at the front of the group. Yeah. So, positionally. Oh, again! Again, I'm barely moving. Damn it. That's got to be the position. It's got to be. Because I'm not in the front. I can't actually go at my pace. I'm kind of stuck in the group. Caught in the slipstream, you know, like you got riders in front of you, you can't move past them sort of thing. You have to make your way through the group. But as we had already previously noted, we were so far out, right? Those top 11 had such a gap that it really didn't matter for my character. We weren't going to actually compete for one of those top positions. It's Ortega all the way. Speaking of, Ortega looks like he might be in 3rd place now. Which is fantastic. I mean, yes, he is 3rd place. I do stay in 13th. We could have been a little higher, but a little, right? I mean, at best, we're maybe cracking 10th, but I don't think so. I think we'd be 12th right now if we had been in that better position and been able to make our way up. We would have been a minute and a half better off. So 7 something behind. So yeah, it still would have only been 12th, and we'd still be out of the top 10. Stage 3 is a hilly mountain, so it's not done yet. You've got a pretty hefty climb. This could destroy the field, and we don't know how well it'll come back together through here. I mean, there's always the chance that it will. Groups with Slipstream, it'll kind of gather momentum and allow them to catch back up a bit before you get into these last 2 climbs. So you'd assume the results will be a bit tighter, but not necessarily. I mean, depending on how much it blows up and how much fatigue there is in the legs out there. But Ortega all the way up into a podium place right now. That was unexpected. I mean, look how far we are ahead of Frank Washington, who absolutely just tore it up in that first race that we did. Ortega's beating him right now. So energy management, absolutely a thing. You can see both, though, taking a little more fatigue after those 2 difficult stages. In terms of energy now, they both had a little bit in reserve, though, so that helps somewhat. 68, 74, not too bad off at this point. I think others are going to be in a lot worse shape, but not as much attack energy. They've definitely hurt themselves there a bit heading into this one. Love our placement right now. That would put us at 75 points if things hold as they are, but don't count your eggs in the basket just yet. Right off the bat, from the very first, there's already 11 riders off the back. Is that they anticipate and see that they're going to be able to recover a little bit, or is that extreme fatigue setting in right from the off and anticipating that they're just not going to have energy later on in this race? Our current leader is right up here, so, and there's names. Gomez is there, Bianco is there, Powell is there. They're among the leaders, and they're all off the back a little bit. So, wow, could this be a third stage explosion of the group that allows us, who recovered a little better, have a little bit better rest rates, allow us to maybe gain some time and move up the order? It's already coming back together. Just 1 rider off the back, so just anticipating the move and that they would be able to save a little something. Figure everybody's going to go right to here, and they are. Makes sense. Big push on up ahead. Further than I expected. Somebody's making a big move on this hill, and we're going to have to respond. This is going to take a lot out of a lot of riders, though, so this is good. Oh, and look, again, we see a big split in the field, including the leaders, off the back for a second time. And that's putting them pretty far down compared to the rest of us. A little bit of movement here, but certainly not a nasty push. And look at where those guys are going to be impacted. And look how far back they are now. So yes, I think so. I think the leaders are in danger, and we are in a fantastic position to gain from this. I sacrifice myself to improve our position on this one. No, play it smart for now. Oh, Ortega could go straight ahead. Let's not do it, though. It's not about the KOM. Conservative approach at the top does bring the field largely back together, but not everybody. There's still 6 back there. A good full turn behind us, maybe more. Oh, somebody pushed it on ahead, and not in the smartest way. You'd almost want to just be here, or back here. I mean, isn't that better? And then you're able to recover a bit, push and make up, or take the 12, but that involves an attack, and I don't feel like you need the attack. I mean, from here, we'll get the +3 and get right back in. See if any pick up the reins. I think we're going to cover this off and get back in position. pretty soon. Like almost immediately. Look at that. Without using any attack. We did it. We did it. Okay. Oh, I outsmarted the AI. "13, 5, 1 at the front. Those 7 aren't that far behind, but at this point it's still 1 full turn back. And they're in a smaller group. They're not going to get as much of a slipstream effect, which means they're burning more energy to try to catch back up to us. I'm going to stay where we're at for now as we're going across the flat. Let things be as they are. We're going to save some energy for those climbs to come. Even if those guys do catch up to us, I'm not as worried about that. Because we're going to come in with max energy for the last 2 climbs, and they're going to have burnt a fair bit trying to catch up to us. And they are closer now. They're definitely closer now. But again, at what cost? At what cost are they doing that? And when they do catch up, they're going to be at the very back of the group. There's most everybody together. Did those guys see that this far out? No, there's no way that they gained from that, being in that small chase group. Stay put a little longer. Okay, now a bunch of riders are starting to move up. Now's the time that I want to recover and get back up the field. Especially while we're still on the flat. Still plenty of slipstream to follow, but have the ability to, as the moves pick up, you can see here. Oh, an immediate blow up. 2 riders made it all the way up over the first climb, just like that. I think we want to join the large group here. Hopefully we don't see our podium wash away, but here's where we need to be. And Ortega, low on overall stamina, but plenty of attack energy, so they'll be able to make the climb pretty quick compared to a lot. We're in the right position for the final move, but we can't attack beyond anyone. That's worrying. Not a good time for Ortega. No energy, so a bunch of riders are going to push past us, but it's going to be a small gap in time. Small gap. That's going to help. Boy, that was a difficult stage. I thought things were looking so good, and those leaders were just toying with everybody. They hung back and conserved. They took a minimalist route. They saw that long flat section and somehow had the right people in the right places to pull them along. Gomez, Washington, taking the top 2 positions and pulling away a bit. But again, we weren't that far behind, but we are out of the top 3 now. Washington gaining enough time to push up. Gomez with a comfortably tested dropping down a bit, but Washington right on their heels. Hopefully we're still in the top 5. We are. 5th place. Okay. 5th place overall with 1 stage left to go. I was certainly hoping to be a little better placed, but that's okay. That is okay. 5th is not that bad. Definitely don't want to lose time on this last stage, and that could be a concern. We're down to 53 energy. I'm down to 55. 21 attack energy for Ortega, though. We had that little bit left. That's going to help for this final stage. We're 38 points right now. That'll get us at 55 for our overall season performance. It's something. My character's in 11th. I mean, we're right there. And if that stupid double turn thing didn't affect us a stage ago, we'd be at roughly 10 minutes down. That's still 11th, so really not altering things. But I'm right there on the edge. Gomez. Gomez, the favorite again. We're on a flat stage. Gomez is just miles ahead of everybody else in terms of quality. The only hill on the entire stage, and all but a couple riders are able to immediately bypass it. Took a bit of effort, but everybody able to get on by. Alright, looks like we're going to see a little bit of an aggressive push the rest of this stage that's going to impact those who don't have stamina. So we've got to make sure we try to follow along, but you can see more riders are starting to get dropped already with the inability to go with. These are going to be your low rest riders, just seeing their way right on out of the group. Okay, Ortega has enough to make a little push anyway to get across the line. A little nervous about if that's going to hurt our position. Maybe it benefits our position, you never know. Testa, Gomez, and Bianco took the top standings. So the top two finished in the top two positions. And then we were just off their wheels otherwise. So maybe that was enough to keep us in the top 5. We'll see here in just a moment. I sure hope it is. I would not like to see us drop down to 6th. Oh, we drop all the way to 7th. No. Bianco. Okay. Great. Well, there you go. Big race. Difficult one. And again, the AI, we're playing on hardest difficulty, and I've got this thing set up to be hard, and we are finding it difficult. It is a top 10. We get 7th. My character just outside in 12th. Certainly not a bad race by any means. I was hoping to hang on to that top 5, but not a terrible performance. We do pick up 20 points because we get the devaluation because we're what do you call it? Oh no, it's just the sponsor focus thing. They care about the race, or it's because they don't care about this race that we get a 0.8. So we only actually pick up 20 points of prestige gain. Kind of sucks. Added to the 20 we had, we're now at 45. I don't know if we'll get credit for the 25 when it comes to the rankings at the end of the season. Oh, interesting. So it is based off of prestige. We're now sitting on 45 points. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Tough end of the season. We'll see how well we do. I mean, we've already got some points. We're bound to get some more, so I don't think we'll have a total failure for the year, but success to get us out of pathetic funding. We'll see. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.